Now this convincer is actually a variation of what I showed you in the very first DVD with the actual lemon. When I do this convincer in my office, it's called the lemon drop convincer, and almost everybody who I've ever met has been to the movie theater when they were younger and bought those lemon head candies, very sugary on the outside, very sour lemon on the interior. And so everybody who comes in my office can relate to this. Now, I have discovered that the clients who were not born in the USA or didn't grow up in the USA did not have the same kind of candy that we had in their movie theaters if they went to movies. And so if I have somebody who originally is not from the USA, then I go use the lemon convincer, much like I did earlier, where they simply imagine a lemon. But I love this with the lemon drop candy, and I've discovered that just about everybody, 99.999% of the people who grew up in the USA and went to movies when they were younger, can relate to this. So it's a very easy convincer to do. And the reason why I do this convincer probably more than any other convincer is that it produces a very real response, an automatic response, and this is great for, in particular, my pain management folks and my weight management folks. They come in here and they say, you know, I want to try hypnosis. I've tried everything else. By the way, the hypnotist, that's the last person a person makes an appointment with. So that by the time clients get here, they're really desperate.
Right.
And they say, I have this idea, you know, I want it to work, but I'm not really sure how it's going to work. And so during my pre-talk, I will often do this lemon drop convincer. So imagine you're a weight loss client and you came in here and throw me a curveball here, ask me a question about how this is really going to work to help you lose weight.
Well, I don't really understand how hypnosis is going to help me lose weight, because I need to eat less, eat better, and exercise, and hypnosis isn't a pill or an exercise or anything like that, so I don't understand it.
Sure. Well, actually, hypnosis is one of those mental processes. It's really a mind exercise that, like an exercise at the gym, can help you to be successful. Let me show you how it works. You know, a lot of people for weight loss, they kind of wonder, am I going to come in and close my eyes and count to 10 and then open my eyes and suddenly be 10 pounds lighter?
That would be awesome.
I wish, I wish that it worked that way, but it doesn't. Here's how it does work, though. We can use the creative part of our mind to actually produce real response in our body. Now, when you were a kid, did you ever go to the movie theater and have those lemon head candies? You know, the kind of candies that are hard candy, there's sugar on the outside? Yeah, lots of people have. Now, I'm not going to do a hypnosis session here yet, but go ahead and hold your hand out in front of you and close your eyes. Now, I'm going to put some imaginary candy in your hand. So imagine the imaginary candy is there in your hand. And it's that lemon head candy from the movie theater when you were a kid. Now take the other hand, grab that imaginary candy from your open palm and just pop those imaginary candies in your mouth. And when you do, taste that sugary exterior. Feel that sugary exterior begin to melt away and give way to that sour, lemon, bitter interior. Now go ahead and chomp the imaginary candy up. Chomp, 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 chomp. Swallow the imaginary candy. And you can put your hand down because I'm not giving you any more imaginary candy. And now, what happened to you?
It was very sweet and then very sour.
Sure. Now, did you salivate at all? Yeah. You know, it's interesting. Salivation isn't something we think about. It's something that the body does in response to stimuli. We called this imaginary candy. At no time did I say this is real candy.
Right.
I said imagine the imaginary candy in your hand. And even using the creative part of your mind, you really salivated. And you kind of puckered for a minute. Could you really taste that candy?
It was like I did. I mean, I knew the sour, and I could, you know, I know when you first put it in, it's sugary, and then all of a sudden it gets sour, and it hits, you know, on the side of the tongue, and you pucker, you can't help it.
Sure. When you chop that imaginary candy up, could you feel it? Yep. And so when I do this convincer with clients, there are almost always very real, automatic physical responses they have to thought. And so this is my favorite convincer, because then I can say to a client who came in here for weight loss, and so this is how it's going to work. We're going to use the creative capacity of the mind, just like this experiment, to produce real change in the body. And when my clients can wrap their head around that idea and really understand it, they're excited about hypnosis and they're successful.